Good evening, everybody. I'd like to call to order this Aston Township Board of Commissioners meeting for Wednesday, December 18th, 2024. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We're going to go a little bit out of order tonight. So we're going to have a motion on, if you have one of these things, item under new business, item A, motion to promote Officer Anthony Amicone to a full-time officer. Commissioner Doherty.
Conditional appointment of full-time probationary police officer. I would like to make a motion that this board appoints police officer Anthony Amicone of Aston to the position of full-time probationary officer at an hourly rate of $37.84. Once appointed as a full-time officer, Anthony Amicone will undergo a one-year probationary period. The effective date for police officer Amicone to full-time is January 4th, 2025, in the form of a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. Congratulations. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
All right. Congratulations. Good luck.
Congratulations.
Is Danny or somebody taking a picture?
Take a picture right there.
Smile, you can be in that picture.
Okay. Well, congratulations, officer.
Have the room, you know.
Okay. Well, okay, we're going to move on now to item 3, review and approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of November 20, 2024.
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of November 20th, 2024.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or question on the minutes? Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. We'll move on now to committee reports. Commissioner Tinsley.
Thank you, Commissioner Higgins. So I'll be reading the permits and license report. This permits and license report is for the month of November 2024. We had a beginning balance of $641,141. Total income from building permits and general contractors licenses was close to $5,000. And total electrical and total plumbing and heating totaled $3,000. For the total revenue collected for the month of November, it was $11,230, which gives us a new total for 2024, $662,341. And in comparison, from November of 2023, we were at $513,000. That's at the end of my report.
Thank you. Commissioner Berry.
Thank you, Commissioner Higgins. The police report for November 2024.
Why can't he read that whole report?
Incidents handled was 503, accident investigations 22, criminal investigations 26, criminal cases cleared 22. Clearance rate was 85% for Part 1, 83% for Part 2 crimes. And to the license plate readers and cameras, Fennel and Congo Road was 1 million plus cars this month, or last month. Fennel and Dutton was $732,000. Concord and Dutton was $732,000. Concord and Aston Mills was $600,000. Concord Bridgewater Road was $512,000 plus, and Fennel and Dunningdale was $450,000. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner. Mr. Prendergast.
What?
There it
It's
is.
on.
All right. Say, Commissioner Higgins. I got the Public Works Director's Report in November of 2024. They painted new crosswalks on Concord Road near Mount Hope Church, Glendale intersection with Dublin Way. Painted no parking on Judy Way for the townhouse mailbox area. Picked up 35 trees, bushes from Rose Street Park. Moved holiday decorations from Public Works Facility to Community Center. Repaired broken pipe in rain garden at Firehouse. Filled all well at the old Newsom property. Our sanitation department picked up 57 tons of recycling and 465 tons of residential waste. The following roads are state-owned and maintained: Fennel Road, Concord Road, Knowlton Road, Bridgewater Road, Dutton Mill Road, Aston Mill, Bernie Highway, Bodley Road, and Lenai Road. If you have any maintenance or safety issues on any of these roads, please contact PennDOT at 610-566-0972. The next metal and appliance week is January 6th to January 10th. Bulk trash week no longer exists. Anything that can be burned can be put out on your curb for trash at any time. Please have your trash at the curb by 6 a.m. on your designated trash day. Any questions or complaints, please contact Russ Palmore, Director of Public Works, at 610-494-8005. Thank you. It's the end of my report, Commissioner.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Doherty.
I had before me the Township Treasurer's Report for November 2024. Operating cash in the general fund as of November 30th, $1,441,712. Other funds include the TD Bank Escrow checking account with a balance of $644,118. The TD Bank ARF fund account with a balance of $680,272. The Pliget account, the 2022 Pliget account with a balance of $8,969,953. The TD Bank Capital Checking Account with a balance of $2,575,080. Total cash balance for the township as of November 30th, 2024, $14,705,344. And this evening, we'll be doing the final budget presentation, so if you have any questions about the final budget, just wait till after I do the presentation. We'll have a question and answer period for the public. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Bowden.
I'm going to try this new mic. I have a couple things. The first thing I have is from the library. They're going to have a few things for the kids during the holidays. So the first one is they had the Songbirds Friday, January 10th at 11 a.m. Join Miss Ann and her helper Izzy for a fun learning experience about backyard songbirds. This program is for bird watchers ages 3 to 5. There's a couple of more things. There's a free chair yoga with Miss Donna returning January the 7th to February 11th, Tuesdays at 2 p.m. There's a crochet and craft group on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. and an adult coloring club on Saturday, 10 a.m. to 12. If you'd like to get some more information about these, you can go to the website, and that's on there. But the real thing that I want to report to you tonight is our beautiful town decorated for Christmas. So we had a Christmas tree lighting last Friday, and now we have our house decorating contest. And I have the winners here tonight, which they have no idea at this point. There's all the awards were judged by different people. None of the commissioners did anything. Nobody employed by the township. It was all residents that live out in the township. The only one that is not done because they're having a very difficult time making a decision is the 7th Ward of Aston. They hope to have made a decision by tomorrow, but they're haggling the two of them over who gets what. So I'm going to read to you the beautiful homes of Aston that are decorated. And maybe you can get in your car one night this coming week, go out and ride by them and see how great they look. In the first ward, it's house number 205 on Grace Lane. And the runner-up is number 126 Kildare Lane. And in the second ward, is 102, the winner McLaughlin, 102 McLaughlin Drive, and the runner-up is 103 Victoria Drive. In the third ward, I don't know how they made a decision in that ward. The first runner-up, the first winner is 3050 Heatherton, and the runner-up is 2405 Crestview. In the fourth ward, 2465 Weir Road, and the runner-up is 26 Cobblestone Lane. And in my own ward, the first prize goes to 412 Virginia Lane, and the second prize goes to 415 Virginia Lane. You all have to see Virginia Lane, it's amazing. And in the sixth ward, 17 Stewart Drive, and the runner-up is 121 Beatrice Lane. And we'll have the seventh ward as soon as they make a decision. So the commissioners will be delivering your prizes to your winners. Congratulations. Everybody get a chance, go and see some of these houses. They are absolutely amazing. That's all I have.
Thank you, Commissioner Bowden. I call on Commissioner McGinn.
Thanks, Commissioner Reagans. Two reports tonight. First on the fire committee report. Just to update on some stats. Average response time for EMS continues to be very strong, 7 minutes and 3 seconds on 187 total calls just in the month of November. Fire response, just over 9 minutes on 82 calls in November. Another thing I don't typically report, but training, just because when you look over the course of the year, it adds up. And remember, these are almost all entirely volunteers. They've had 36 drills over the whole year to date, with 85 in attendance. And so when you add that up in terms of hours or man hours that they're collectively devoting, it's over 2,500 man hours. So a lot of people spending their free time to help support and serve the township. The other report, talking to our chairman of the Sewer Authority, Southwest Delaware County Municipal Authority, he couldn't be here tonight, but he asked to share just an update on their budget, since we're talking budget tonight. But good news that they've been able to keep rates steady, so there will not be a sewer rate increase this year from Southwest. That completes my reports tonight. Commissioner.
Thank you. Joe mentioned the fire company. I hope everybody will remember when they receive or should have received them, the EMT and the fire company annual fund drive. I hope you remember to be generous so that we can support them and continue to help them in their task of making the township safe. So please remember the fund drive. Thank you. Okay, we're up to item number 7.
No, 5.
What?
Review and approval of treasurer's report.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. All right, approval of the treasurer's report.
I make a motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, nays? Ayes have it. And also, item 6, approval of the bills and payroll report.
I make a motion to approve the bills and payroll report.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, both motions there carry. And now we go to item 7, but that I was jumping ahead on. Open to the public, agenda items only, 1/2 hour. Please come up to the microphone if you would like to speak.
I'll make this under 3 minutes, actually 1, how about that? I just wanted to ask, I see here about the...
Tell us who you are, please.
Oh, sorry. It's been a while, you know? Kathy Pack, 2931 Comfort Road, Aston. So I just wanted to ask some clarification about 8A. I see about the construction phase of the Chester Creek. I was just wondering, that's the $8 million trail? No, it is not? Okay. Then I'll wait till the next opening to ask about that. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you. Anybody else come up, speak? Okay. All right, so number 8, consider a motion to place the meeting in Sendai. Commissioner Doherty.
I make a motion to place the meeting in Sendai. Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. All right, so we have that motion, and we have a couple hearings tonight. Two of them I will call on our solicitor, Mr. Madarin, to enlighten us on that.
Yeah, so our first hearing this evening is, I don't remember which order we're saying, is on the Chester Creek Trail. So Bob Scott's here from the county. We have a couple of board exhibits that we would enter. One would be the proof of advertisement, which we'll provide with the minutes of the meeting. And the second will be the resolution that's going to be considered under old business at 10A. And with that, Bob?
Thank you, Mr. Manager. Would you like me at the podium or?
I think the podium's right best because it has a
Yep.
microphone. Do you need me to come hold the plan for you, Bob?
We have the ability to post them electronically if that
That's
is of interest, or I can do it the old-fashioned way too.
No, I think electronically is the best way to do it.
While that's getting set up, I'll just introduce myself. My name's Robert Scott. I am the county planning department's lawyer for trail projects. We're here tonight seeking conditional use approval to construct retaining walls and some stormwater facilities in steep slopes. The trail, the next phase of the trail project in Aston.
I'm trying to figure out how to put HDMI one. Hold on.
If you order red one, we're going to charge you for it.
It's working up there, we're gonna get it.
It's Amazon Prime.
There we go.
We have it over there somewhere.
There we go.
Here we go. Oh, shucks, the red one.
So, I will orient you once I get it.
Could you use the microphone, sir?
So this is, this is one half. Can you show, depict the other half?
Yes.
Okay, this is the section running from Creek Road in Middletown. It crosses the creek into Aston, and then proceeds south. And I'll ask you to put the other one up now. Crosses over Dutton Mill Road, and then terminates at Bridgewater. The trail itself will be on a former railroad bed, so it is not in a steep slope, the trail itself, but there are retaining walls that we built to hold up the trail. And those are indicated in black on that exhibit you're looking at. And if you could maybe move your cursor to just circle some of the black areas, Mr. McCall. So it is those areas that sit in steep slopes or very steep slopes that we're seeking your permission for tonight. We do have two exhibits to introduce, and they are a plan entitled Delaware County Drawings for Construction, prepared by Wilson Consulting Group, dated July 15, 2024. Consisting of 60 pages, which we would ask be admitted as Exhibit A, as well as Delaware County drawings for erosion and sediment pollution control, also prepared by Wilson Consulting Group, dated December 3rd, 2024, consisting of 30 sheets, which we ask be marked as Exhibit B. I will ask Mr. McCullough to hand those up in a second. And that is what. That is that Exhibit A that you're looking at right now.
Bob, I do apologize. As I said, I was able to get all of the ENS plan. Is that exhibit? I can't recall what exhibit that was.
That's
B. So it was an extensive amount of paper, but Exhibit B, I do have in full. I only have one copy of Exhibit A. I guess I'll just place that right here. But I will readily get the other ones. Do you need a copy?
No, not really.
Okay. Yeah.
Is one copy is sufficient?
I think one copy for the record.
Okay.
And there's one of each.
So, that is pretty much this, summary of our presentation. We are seeking permission for these retaining walls and some stormwater facilities.
Well, it's well presented, Bob, and just for clarification for everybody in the room, this has nothing to do with the crossing at Duncanville Road.
That's correct.
It's only facilities in the steep slopes. We permit a recreational use in our steep slopes, but we don't permit the structures.
Right.
Could you just state how many locations, was it 3 locations?
For the retaining walls?
Yeah.
Mr. McCollum?
Just so we get that on the record.
Sure.
Yes. Let me just verify here. There are 7 locations.
7.
Can I have your name?
Nate McCullough.
All right, thank you, Bob. Any questions from the board, Mike?
Hold on. Mr. Tinsley, any questions from you? Mr. Berry?
No.
Fred? No. Okay.
None, I'm
John? Ms. Bowden, any questions?
Of course.
You're on.
How are the residents that this is going to affect going to be notified of this? Because this runs all along back behind my ward.
First of all, construction is more than a year out, so there's not going to be doing anything in the short term. When the construction is commencing, we'd be happy to work with the township in whatever way you want to provide notice, and we will be happy to work with you in that regard.
I'd like to be involved.
Sure.
The residents are going to hear the noise.
Certainly.
I mean, they're above where you're going to be.
Yeah.
And they're concerned. They're
Yeah,
absolutely
I understand.
concerned. So I'd really like to get a better relationship with them going forward.
I would be happy to.
Mr. McGinn?
Yeah, really quick, but you had mentioned, and I think it'd be good for folks listening. So when construction you expect it to start, and when do you think the trail would be, this phase would be in service?
I'd like to ask Mr. McCullough to take that one.
Given the current permit status, again, and the right-of-way status, we're about a year out from construction start. We anticipate 18 to 24 months of construction once it begins.
Can we get you sworn in, and can you just affirm that?
Okay.
Can you raise your hand, please? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth?
Yes.
I would just point out that schedule is rolling construction. It's not going to be 18 months on the entire thing. It's going to be, you'll complete a big piece, move forward. So 18 months total, but not 18 months in your backyard.
And Nate, now that you're sworn in, do you affirm everything that you said this evening?
I do.
And just for that, because you were just talking about the linear nature of the project, so how long is this new phase of the trail? Approximately.
Joe, is he picking up? Is Joe's thing on so people can hear at home?
Yeah. Did you guys all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You repeat your question? Or?
I think everybody heard.
Okay. The new segment of trail is approximately 1.3 miles long.
Okay, thanks. The last question, in terms of the Chester Creek Trail, one of the things that I know that the county's worked on is trying to find more parking and opportunities. As you get near neighbors in Aston, kind of a down the road question, is there a willingness from the county to work with the township, friends of the trail, or residents to try to provide walking access to the trail with neighborhoods?
Certainly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's great.
And I point out 2 new parking areas for this phase. The existing parking lot at Milton Road is being expanded.
Great. Thank you. That's all the questions I have. Commissioner Higgins.
Thank you, Commissioner. I have no questions. Is there any questions, unless you fellows have any more? No. Any questions from the audience? Come up, Nick, please.
Come up.
Yes, so we know who you are.
Nicholas Penza, 30 Morgan Road. I was confused. You said we allow conditional use of our slopes, but you don't allow construction on them?
We allow recreational uses in the slopes, but we don't allow structures in the slopes without conditional use.
So that's why we're doing the conditional
Correct.
use here, okay.
Yeah.
There was some chatter back here. This plan does not include the crossing part of Dudley Mill?
It does not.
It's part of this phase of construction, but it's not part of the relief that they're requesting this evening. Because the county has taken on the burden of acquiring the highway occupancy permit for the trail, so they don't need Aston's involvement to have that crossing.
Okay, so the crossing is still part of phase 2, but it's not up to Aston.
That's correct.
All right, okay.
Thank you, Nick. Is there anybody else would have questions out there? Come up, please.
So Kathy Papp again, 2931 Concord. And again, apologies, because this is a stupid question, because I was asking for some clarity. So the purpose of this is the retaining walls are for flooding purposes or what? I'm sorry, just to help me visualize.
That is the purpose of this conditional use.
And it's not butting up against anybody's property, it's just the trail? Okay.
Nate, can you just say why we need retaining walls here, just so that question's answered?
On the screen, to orient anyone, if you were walking on the trail towards Creek Road, the creek is on your right side, neighborhoods are on your left side up above the trail. Unfortunately, I can't use my pointer here, but in various areas, the rail bed was built for a 6 to 8 foot wide rail tie system. The trail for AASHTO safety standards is required to be at least 10 foot wide with 2 foot shoulders, requiring 14 foot in width. So in various locations, given the degradation of the rail bed over time, we've lost slope. And additionally, for safety standards, we need to make it wider.
So the retaining walls are really to protect the slope? Right?
Yes.
To keep the slope a slope and not to have an avalanche into the trail?
And I would mention, in phase 1, there are multiple walls in that section as well.
Thanks.
The existing construction.
Correct.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, no.
Is it appropriate for you to close this hearing?
Yeah.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you.
We have another hearing now. Mr. Madron will present what it's all about. Thank you.
Yeah, so we have another conditional use hearing scheduled this evening. This is on 5120 Tennant Road. And this is for conditional use approval for our mixed-use overlay district. Recall that all uses in the mixed-use overlay district are permitted by conditional use. This is to have the residential structures and the township park in the front. In order to reduce the number of residential structures and accommodate the existence of the cell tower for an additional 5-year period, we moved on from having a commercial building in the front, and instead we would have a township passive recreation area in the front that will allow for additional parking and less residential structure. Adam Malowski is here to present, and I'm sure as soon as we get past our technical issues, we're going to have this problem.
You got it, just plug it in.
We do have 2 board exhibits, as with last time. The first one will be open for publication, and the second one will be the resolution that will be under consideration, I believe, at new business item.
Go ahead. glasses?
I can't do anything with my glasses.
Here you go.
There you go, thank you. Don't have my eyes in.
Oh, my gosh.
Uh-oh.
No, like what you got. Anything in? It's not recognized, not recognized computer.
All right.
We're gonna have this problem in the new office.
Try HDMI 2. No. We're going to signal HDMI 3.
Are they in the right?
You should have brought the younger.
Ports.
I am the younger. Be careful what you wish for.
It shouldn't change on your side.
I think you're good. Oh, it's over there. Oh, there we go, there we go. Finally.
Oh, there we go.
Don't show us all your passwords.
Yeah.
We should have a number.
Matt don't have these problems.
Just for you.
I could go ahead and start while Gus is getting the plan up there, if that's okay. Good evening, my name's Adam Matlowski. We've all met before. I'm the local attorney representing RIC Municipal, who is the equitable owner of the property that we're talking about. With me tonight is Gus Hoopman from Hoopman Engineers, or the project engineers. And we also have Steve Yacobucci and Mitch Kress, although they're not going to testify at this hearing, but they're here in case there are any questions, they could chime in. As Michael indicated, this property is located in the mixed use, well, it's applied to the mixed use overlay district, and we're proposing two uses, one being the 36 townhomes, and the other being the park where currently the cell tower is located. Under your code, under section 1297, more than one use is permitted in mixed use. However, all uses are only permitted by conditional use. There's no use permitted by right. And the uses that are listed as those that are permitted by conditional use include public park or recreation area, as well as the residential uses. So that's why we're here, just to give the board, and I know you're all familiar with this, obviously, this is the township property, but just to brief only then how we got here. As you know, the township undertook an RFP process seeking proposals for the purchase and development of this property in light of the township's new municipal center that you're going to construct. RIC was awarded the contract for the property and initially proposed 37 townhouses and a 5,000 square foot commercial building. And they submitted plans which were reviewed by Delaware County Planning, your Planning Commission, your new construction, went through preliminary approval, and preliminary approval with some conditions was granted, and also there was a waiver granted to allow the number of houses on the cul-de-sac that were requested. But during the course of our due diligence in this process, it was discovered that the leases for the tower, the cell tower, extended, well, let's just say longer than everyone had hoped. And so that they're in existence at least until I think the spring of 2030. And with that, it made virtually impossible for us to develop the site in accordance with how it was originally proposed. And so what we came back with was a revised plan. The street is proposed, the cul-de-sac street is still the same location. There's one less townhouse. It's now 36 townhouses. And instead of the commercial building, there's offered for which we would do the construction on, not construction, but you ready it as a public park with a parking area, and then dedicate that back to the township. And so that's what has been proposed here. This plan has also been reviewed by your Planning Commission, recently came out of there on November 26th, I believe, with a recommendation for approval. It's been reviewed by your professionals, been in front of your construction committee, and the latest review by Mr. Viscuso's office, and all we've indicated in front of the planning commission and also in front of new construction that we can comply and will comply with all the requirements. But what I thought I'd do, just to get on the record, is I have Gus Hoopman Engineers, just to run through the plan a little bit for you, and then if permitted, do I need to go through Mr. Hoopman's credentials, or we accept him as
We accept Mr. Hoopman as an expert.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
The second most expert Hoopman I've ever had. Can we get Mr. Hoopman sworn in?
Yes.
Can you raise your hand, please? Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give is true?
Yes.
What's your first name?
I hope we're not gonna have these problems when we have to do.
Gus, you have some plans that are there can you identify the plan set that you're going to be referring to here?
Yeah, let me just bring up one of the other, I'll bring up the full plan set as well. It's a plan set for our RIC Municipal Center by G.D. Hoopman and Son, Inc. It's dated August 29, 2024, and last revised 11/25/2024. Is this one?
And would you?
That's all.
Gus number sheets.
There's 9 total sheets.
Can you go back to that first plan, the one with the colored plan?
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'll just ask you for the record. I mean, are you familiar with this plan?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and you're familiar with the ordinances of Aston Township,
Yes.
specifically the zoning ordinances and the land development ordinance?
Yes, I am.
And am I correct that this is, we're applying the MU overlay district for this plan?
Correct.
And can you just sort of map out for everybody what the plan shows and what we propose and what's been before the planning commission?
Yeah, what's being proposed is, the parcel itself is the Aston Township Municipal Building Complex. It's located on the west side of Pennell Road. It's about 750 feet south of 5 Points. It's bounded to the north by TD Bank and to the south by Aston Point Apartments. 3 Point, let me just go to the existing conditions plan. That'll show everything existing here. This is the existing conditions plan here. Site currently consists of the buildings, access drives, parking areas of what was the former Aston Township Municipal Complex. Majority of the site is impervious coverage. There are green areas located at the perimeter of the site, both on the north and south side, and just to orient everybody. Plan north is up on the page. You have Pennell Road running roughly north-south on the right side of the page, and you have Richard Road again on the left side of the page, which is running north and south. The site, like as I mentioned, the site is mainly impervious coverage. There's some green areas around the perimeter, larger green areas located in back of the property or on the west side of the property. The property generally slopes in a westerly direction away from Pennell Road to a low point back at we'll call it the northwest corner of the property. Stormwater management for the site is actually being provided by a basin which is located in the adjacent Aston Court subdivision. We show the storm sewer pipe. There's inlets on the existing property and storm sewer pipe that takes stormwater runoff into an existing basin located at, I'll call it that'd be the southwest corner of Aston Court and Thomas Drive. So that's all being managed there. Site is currently serviced by public water and sanitary sewer. And all existing improvements except the cell tower, which is located immediately south of the existing municipal building. The municipal building was or is here now, and the cell tower is located right here. So everything associated with the site is to be removed. Going back to the rendered drawing, the applicant is proposing to subdivide the property into 36 townhouse units and parcels A and B. Parcel A is here, where I'm circling, it's located at the southeast corner of the property, and then parcel B is here. Parcel A, which is being offered for dedication to Aston Township, is to contain a pocket park and a parking area for 9 vehicles. Parcel B, which contains 9 parking spaces, is to be owned by the homeowners association and will provide overflow/guest parking for the proposed townhouse units. Access to the proposed development would be through a private cul-de-sac street. Cul-de-sac street gains access to Pennell Road, somewhat towards the northern side of the property, but here's the access point here. And again, we're kind of limited with the layout. It's a single cul-de-sac street which is double loaded on either side with townhouse units. Each townhouse unit will be provided with 2 parking spaces, 1 space in the garage and 1 space in the private driveway. There's also 13 additional individual parking spaces located throughout the community. There's 1 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 there, 2 there, 2 there, 2 here, for a total of 13. And as I mentioned previously, there's also 9 parking spaces associated with parcel B, which brings the total parking provided for the 36 units to 94 spaces, where 60 is required by code. The proposed townhouse units will be provided with public water and sewer service from mains located in Pennell Road. If I can just go to the grading plan to reference this. Wait. This is a copy of the grading plan that I have up now. Due to the grade change associated with the site, as I had mentioned, the property actually grades away from Pennell Road. High point's up here on the east side of the site, low point is down here on the west side. The grade change associated with the site requires some of the portion of the units, units 1 through 7, and units 31 through 36. These are all provided with gravity sewer connections. There's a terminal manhole here with new storm sewer constructed in the proposed access street. That comes out to a manhole here in Pennell Road, and then further west of those of units 31 and 8, all of these units will be provided sanitary sewer service by individual grinder pumps. They'll connect the force mains on either side of the street, and then those force mains will connect to the sanitary sewer, which is being constructed in the proposed road. Stormwater management is being provided by a above-ground basin, which is located behind units 25 through 30. That's right here. And there's also several stormwater infiltration beds. There's one located underneath the access cul-de-sac here, and there's 4 behind units 1 through 18, and there's also 1 associated with each of the parcels A and B. Managed stormwater from the basin and the infiltration bed underneath the cul-de-sac will be conveyed to the existing storm sewer, which is currently running to the basin, which is located in the Aston Court. I'll call it the Aston Court subdivision. That basin is. The existing basin is located at Aston Court and Thomas Roads.
Mr. Hoopman,
Yeah.
with respect to this, we've proposed 2 separate uses here, correct?
Yes.
And you've indicated that you're familiar with the Aston Code. Am I correct that in section 1297, it requires that any new residential development that is developed under the overlay district and will be located on a lot that is frontage on Pennell or Concord Road proposes 25 or more dwelling units must develop or build another use, right?
Correct. That's correct.
And the other uses that are listed in section 1297 include public park or civic plaza. Is that correct?
Correct.
And that's what we've done here, right?
Right. Yeah, parcel A will be developed as a, I'll call it a pocket park. It will be offered for dedication, it will be offered for dedication to Aston Township. What's being shown on the plan now is not the final configuration. There's notes on the plan that require, fully designed park in conjunction with the wishes of Aston Township, and that will be developed at a later date.
And, Mr. Hoopman, are you also familiar with the provisions of the Aston Township Code dealing with general standards for conditional uses and general standards for conditional uses when specific dimensional standards are not provided as in section 1290.02 and 1290.03 of the code?
Yes, I am.
And have you reviewed this plan in conjunction with those conditions?
Yes, I have.
And in your opinion, was this plan prepared and developed in accordance with the dimensional requirements applicable to this area?
Yes, that is my professional opinion, that the plans have been developed in accordance with the standards, conditions and standards for special exceptions and conditional uses in the sections of the code that you referenced.
Thank you. With that, if no further testimony, I'm going to offer Mr. Hoopman for any questions that the board might have.
I have one. Let's wait. Mr. Tinsley, do you have any questions? Lester, none for you?
That main road there, excuse me, proposed road there.
Yeah.
That's a private road?
Yes, sir.
Is that going to be taken care of by the homeowners association?
Yes, it will.
Which means the plowing, trash, whatnot?
Yes.
Okay.
And there will be an easement. I didn't mention it in my presentation, but there will be an easement. Since it is a private road, there'll be an easement to, I'll say, the second driveway that goes into the TD Bank that will allow access by the public. Since it is a private street, there's an easement there that will allow access by the public to the pocket park that's located at the southeast corner of the property.
Thank you.
Mr. Doherty?
No questions.
Ms. Bowden?
They sound nice, might be moving.
Well, he's the man you want to talk to right back there.
No questions.
Mr. McGinn? Okay. I just have a couple. The pocket park will be designed at a later time, along with the township engineer and the township, and work with you guys and the developer.
Correct.
So, okay. On the color plan up here, units 25 and 30 appear to me to be the ones that are being pushed back, and that they're already pushed back on the plan. 25. Are they already pushed back there?
Yes, I believe so,
Okay,
yes.
because on the site plan, they look like they're up closer, so you've done what we've asked you to do.
Yes. That was a condition, or at least a discussion, as you know, that came out of the planning commission.
Right.
And also new construction. And it was not on the previous plans, but we committed that we would do
Yeah.
that, and that the final plans that would be recorded.
Yep.
And I believe that the proposed condition of approval specifically requires us to do that on the final plans, and we certainly accept that as a condition.
That's correct. Okay, thank you.
Gus, there will be an easement in favor of the township to access that park on the road.
Yes, correct, yeah,
Absolutely.
yes.
That's all I have.
Mr. Viscusa, do you have anything more for us? Okay. Anybody from the audience would like to ask some questions or make some comments? Feel free to raise your hand and come up. Seeing none? Okay, we'll move on. Oh. This is getting more. Thank you.
Should I state my name again?
Please.
Nicholas Penza, 30 Morgan Road. Has a traffic study been done in conjunction with this?
No, we will have to get a PennDOT permit for the new access on the Pennell Road.
Will PennDOT do a survey, or?
PennDOT will not do their own traffic study for that, no.
So is an additional light going to be put there?
No, light is not being proposed there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Good.
Any other questions from the audience? Okay,
Thank you, Adam.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good job.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah.
IT bill. And utility bill for using the electric. You ready?
Yeah. Okay. We'll move on to item 9 now. Consider a motion to take the meeting out of Sendai. Commissioner Doherty.
I make a motion to take the meeting out of Sendai.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? See none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nay. Nays? No. All right, ayes have it. All right, item 10, old business. Consider a resolution approving the conditional use for Phase 2 of the Chester Creek Trail. Commissioner McGinn.
Thanks, Commissioner Higgins. To walk through the conditional uses proposed by the township, I'm going to defer to our solicitor on that.
I think I made things worse by turning this microphone on.
It's on.
Yeah,
It's on.
I know,
Back off.
I'm getting feedback.
Back off. We can see
So I've prepared a resolution for you this evening that would grant conditional use pursuant to the county's application upon 4 conditions. The uses approved herein is limited hereby encroachment areas of steep slopes shall be limited to those areas of and types of encroachment depicted on the plan. Applicant shall abide by all testimony on its behalf at the hearing, and such testimony is incorporated as fully set forth herein. Applicant shall comply with all applicable laws and regulations of the United States of America, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Delaware County, and Aston Township during construction and use of the improvements, including but not limited to the Aston Township ordinances and building codes. During construction, the applicant shall take all precautions recommended by the township engineer to prohibit any steep slope disturbance not contemplated on the plan.
Thanks, Solicitor Manager, for walking through those conditions. I make a motion that the application be approved and granted, subject to the terms and conditions set forth by Solicitor Manager.
We have a motion and a second. Comments, questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
No.
Mr. DeFeo, poll the board, please.
Commissioner Tinsley?
Aye.
Commissioner Berry?
Yes.
Commissioner Prendergast?
Yes.
Commissioner Doherty?
Aye.
Commissioner Bowden?
No.
Commissioner McGinn?
Yes.
Commissioner Higgins?
Yes.
The ayes have it, 6-1.
Okay, we move on to, we already skipped A before, so we just did B. We'll go on to C.
No,
We did that.
we're doing B, Mike.
Yeah, we did it. Sorry. Consider a resolution, this is B, consider a resolution approving the conditional use for RIC Municipal Center. Commissioner McGinn.
Thank you, Commissioner Higgins. Similar to the last application and consideration for conditional use, I'll allow Solicitor Manager to walk through those conditions.
Okay. I've prepared a resolution for you this evening that would grant the conditional use application of RIC Municipal Center LLC for 5021 Pennell Road upon the following conditions. Applicant shall abide by all applicable laws and regulations of the United States, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Delaware County, and Aston Township during its construction and use of the property, except as otherwise approved during final land development. Applicant shall construct and install all proposed improvements consistent with and is shown on the plan. Applicant shall construct the public park shown as parcel A on the plan as a passive recreation area of a design subject to the approval of the township engineer. Applicant shall revise the plan to show access to the existing cell tower on Exhibit A, sufficient to show that access from the adjacent park area to the cell tower to comply with the option and lease agreement between the township and AT&T Wireless PCS. copy of which will be appended to the resolution. Prior to recording, applicant shall revise the plan to set forth the conditions of this resolution verbatim, and the conditions of this conditional use approval can only be modified by subsequent action of this Board of Commissioners. And those are the conditions on the conditional use resolution.
Thank you, Solicitor Madron. I make a motion that the applicant's application be granted, subject to the conditions as just set forth.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nays? Ayes have it. Thank you. We move on to item C. Consider a resolution approving the preliminary final land development plan for the RIC Municipal Center. Commissioner McGinn.
Thank you, Commissioner Higgins. Again, in this case, instead of conditional use for preliminary final land development, I'll allow Solicitor Madron to walk through the conditions of land development.
Thank you. So I prepared a resolution that would grant the application of RIC Municipal Center for its development granted preliminary / final subdivision and land development approval at 5021 Pinnacle Road, subject to the following conditions. And I'll note before I read the conditions that this resolution also affirms the waiver that was granted via resolutions 2024-40, which applies to the number of residential homes on a cul-de-sac. The conditions are as follows. Applicant shall abide by all laws and regulations of the United States, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Delaware County, and Aston Township for any construction and use of the property. Except as set forth herein, applicant shall construct and install all proposed improvements consistent with and is shown on the plan. Prior to recording the plan application, applicant shall pay a fee in lieu of dedication of recreation facilities in the amount of $36,000. Prior to recording the plan, applicant shall revise the plan to reflect the relocation of the residential structures of the property pursuant to the comments at the Planning Commission's November 26, 2024 meeting as follows. A, to establish a 2-foot stagger on units 13 to 18, and B, to push units 25 to 30 toward the rear to create a longer driveway. Prior to recording the application, applicant shall revise the plan to set forth all pipeline easements through the property and tailor its landscaping to avoid any conflict therewith. Prior to recording the application, prior to recording, applicant shall revise the plan to show buffering around the perimeter of the property, subject to the approval of the township engineer. Prior to recording the plan, applicant shall cooperate with the township to take such steps as may be necessary to memorialize cross-access easements with the property located at 5025 Pinnell Road, following number 02-00-00146-00, which is the TD Bank property, in a form satisfactory to the township solicitor and at locations shown on the plan or other locations satisfactory to the township engineer. Prior to recording the plan, applicant shall enter into development, improvement, security, and stormwater best management practices agreements with the township in form satisfactory to the township solicitor. Prior to recording the plan, applicant shall revise the plan to set forth the conditions in this resolution verbatim. Applicant shall submit declarations of covenants, easements, and restrictions for the project, which shall contain provisions for the maintenance of the roadway, stormwater facilities, trash removal services, and all maintenance of landscaping at the property, and maintenance of all landscaping at the property, and shall be subject to the approval of the township solicitor prior to the issuance of building permits for construction of the property. Prior to the issuance of building permits, applicant shall provide the township with copies of its highway occupancy and natural pollution discharge elimination system permits. The location and configuration of the ingress and egress through 5025 Pinnell Road relative to the other improvements of the property shall be subject to the review and approval of the township's fire marshal. Prior to the issuance of any certificates of occupancy for the residential dwellings constructed at the property, Applicant shall trim or remove the trees along the western border of the property to the satisfaction of the township engineer. Prior to the issuance of any certificates of occupancy for the residential dwelling units constructed at the property, applicant shall cooperate with the township to choose a suitable name for the private street surfacing its development. At the time of and along with submission of building permit applications, applicant shall submit building architectural elevations. And applicant shall comply with all conditions of this approval except as any of them may be modified by subsequent action of this board of commission. And those are the conditions I'm proposing for the salary.
Mr. Begin?
Yeah, thank you, Solicitor Manager, for walking through those conditions. With that said, I make a motion to approve preliminary and final land development for Rick Municipal Center LLC at 5021 Bell Road.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any nays? Ayes have it. Congratulations.
Before you move on, Adam, we typically try to get the conditional use decisions out in 24 hours, consistent with the MPC. It's probably going to take a little longer this time.
Certainly good.
Thank you.
And also for your record, the conditions of the Saldo approval are acceptable to the applicant.
Thank you.
Put that on record.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen, for coming tonight. Okay, we're going to move to new business. Item A has already been taken care of earlier. Item B, 2025 budget presentation by Commissioner Doherty.
Okay, so last month I did the preliminary budget presentation. Tonight I'll do the final budget presentation. Just spoiler alert, nothing's really changed from last month. Just go into more detail tonight. So tonight, we'll go over a millage comparison of Aston versus everybody else in Delaware County. We'll review the total assessed value of all the properties within Aston. We'll go over some changes from the previous budget and cost drivers. We'll review the final budget, including the millage, the revenues, the expenses, which include the lease expenditures, debt expenditures, capital expenditures, and I have a new slide for grant applications, planned grant applications. And finally, one with some acknowledgements. So I showed this the last few years. This shows our millage allocations for a homeowner within Aston Township. So your total tax burden to live in the township in 2024 was 25.949, so 24.95 mils. Of that, 12% went to the county, 14% went to Aston Township, and 74% went to Pendelco. And I'll talk the elephant in the room. Obviously, the county just approved a very large tax increase the other day, so that will certainly change this slide next year. And up top there, I have this is from the Delaware County tax rate table, which is available on the county website. I have a link up in the right-hand corner. Okay. So this is where Aston Township fits in the grand scheme of things in Delaware County among all municipalities. I checked, we haven't moved vis-a-vis where we were in previous years. We're still in the bottom third. We're sandwiched in between Brookhaven and Chester Township. So you see some of the municipalities with lower millages, like Thornbury, they're second-class townships, going all the way up to Colwyn, which is breaking 50 mills. So you see where we stand, and this is everything. This is school district, county, municipality. So this is just a comparison of where Aston sounds vis-a-vis other first-class townships within Delaware County. So you see we're right in the middle. We're number 6 out of, I believe, 12, so we're right in the middle. So millages for first-class townships within Delaware County go from 2.4 all the way up to 14. We're right in the middle with 3.67 as of 2024. And I have a little copy over there on the right-hand side. This is what the tax rate table looks like for the county. That's where I got my data. Okay. And again, this is just another slide showing where first-class townships fit. This is school district, this is county, this is municipal. So Aston is in the bottom third for all first-class townships. We can look at our combined tax burden at 25.95 mils. So Marple is down at 17.28, going on up to Darby at 44. So we're down in the bottom third at 25.95. So our total assessed value has fluctuated over the years. I didn't put 2020 because that was the year we did the reassessment, so everything changed as of 2021. So you'd see our total assessed value for all of our property with the township tends to increase over time. So last year was 1.7 billion. This year it's $1,703 million. So this is what we based our millage off of. Okay, so some big changes from 2024. These are the cost drivers. For the police, the uniform employees, they're looking at a salary increase of 3.75%. This is per the collective bargaining agreement of 2024. Our non-uniform employees are looking at a salary increase of 4%. We're looking to increase our tree removal costs of the township. As you may be aware, we've had some issues with trees falling down in recent months, and we're trying to get ahead of that. One big thing is the health insurance benefit is increasing by 6.5%. So a few years back, I think 4 or 5 years back, we switched everyone in the township over to a high deductible plan. We had different plans for everybody in the past, and we switched over to a high deductible plan, which saved us, I think, roughly $550,000 to $600,000 a year. And that has saved us several $1 million over the last few years. We've been lucky there hasn't been any rate increase. Unfortunately, for 2025, we're looking at a 6.5% rate increase for health insurance. Looking at an increase in the MMO. This is the minimum municipal obligation for the police pension fund. So this is increasing by $100,000 for our uniform personnel for our police. And we're looking at an increase in our MMO, our minimum municipal obligation, of $18,000 for our non-uniform personnel. We continue to upgrade our police and public works vehicles, and we're looking to increase our capital expenditures, which is a slide I'll show towards the end. So they are our big cost drivers for 2025. So this is it. It's the same chart I showed last month. We're looking to increase our millage rate for 2025, so 2024 to 25, from 3.67 to 3.8075. This is a 3.5% increase in millage. Total increase for general government is 2.5%. Our debt service remains unchanged at 0%. The fire tax is going from 0.1635 to 0.2185, which is a 34% increase. I did discuss this last month. If anyone has any questions at the end of this presentation, please come up and we can explain it again. And the library tax is remaining stable at 0.028 mils, so no increase there. So this is the important slide. And you can see up top the assessed value has increased by $2.8 million. Okay. So this is the revenue we're looking at for 2025. Cash on hand, $2.7 million. Real estate taxes, $5.3 million. This is where we get our millage. The 511 taxes, these are the various other taxes we have, permit fees and so on and so forth, license fees, fines and performance. I'm not going to go through everything, but our total revenue for 2025, we're looking at $18.435 million, $18,435,000. Now, a few of these, like the fire tax is a pass-through, the library tax is a pass-through, sanitation fee is a pass-through, liquid fuels we get from the state, and the sinking fund is the debt service. So these line items I mentioned in the previous slide. So the expenses for 2025, again, expenses equal the same as revenue, $18,435,000. Our general operating expenses, we're looking at $13,485,000. Library, $46,000. Fire, roughly $450,000. Our debt is $1.5 million. Our liquid fuels, we have this number, it's $463,000. Sanitation for our trash collection is $1.59 million. And our capital expenses for next year are $825,000. Now I've added some more detail. So our general operating expenses of $13,485,000, I've broken that out to see just what we're spending our money on. So we have admitted, I think this is not necessarily in alphabetical order. So administration's $1.4 million, that's 10.9%. I'll just jump to the big one. Police department, $7.9 million, that's almost 60% of our budget. That seems high, but the truth is that's in line with other municipalities within the township and within the county and within the state. And the police department also includes line items such as crossing guards, and we have to remember they're currently paying for their lease at the one new road. say Public Works Highway, $12.7 million. So you can see where our money's allocated for our general operating funds. Okay. So our sanitation fees, these are separate. This is separate from our millage. This goes to households that receive township trash service. So this ties in with the Delaware County Solid Waste Authority. In 2024, their rate per ton was $87 per ton. That's going up to $90 per ton in 2025. So we've had to adjust our fee schedule. So in 2024, we were charging households $340 per household. In 2025, it's going up $10 to $350 per household. This is a $10 increase for those households that utilize township trash service.
Is that monthly?
This is millage and fees for 2025. If you have a home assessed at $100,000, you'd expect to pay an increase $24 over the year. This includes an extra $10 for the trash fee, plus the additional millage over and above 2024. If your home is assessed at $200,000, you're paying an additional $37. If your home is assessed at $300,000, you're looking at an additional $50. And if your home is assessed at $400,000, you're looking at an additional $63 per year. Okay, so we're not really buying equipment anymore. We find it more cost effective to lease equipment. So this is a detailed list of the equipment we're leasing. The first few are police. The first line item is for the LPRs, the cameras, $73,000. We have police computers in their cars, Dell computers. We're getting fingerprint scanner for our new police building next year. It's $10,000. We have a bunch of police vehicles here. The Tahoes are listed. Public Works, it's got a few vehicles there for $69,000. F-150s, 250s, so on and so forth. And finally, a towable lift. This one, I think, is in year 3 of our lease, year 3 or 4. That's $8,000. So this is the big ticket item we're looking to lease for next year. Okay, well, this is our debt portfolio. We've had this in for the last few years. We're actually in pretty good shape when it comes to debt. So we have, you see a few of our line items here are falling off in 2025. The fire truck, 2010, that gets paid off this year. The series of 2012 bond issue, and I understand this is a reissue, we refinanced the 2005 bond. So that's where that came from. That gets paid off this year in 2025, and our series of 2015 gets paid off in 2026. So we're actually looking pretty good in terms of debt for the township. So this is what we pay in terms of principal and interest per year. And this includes the 2018 bond fund that we used to pay for the firehouse and public works building, and the 2022, which is for the new township building. So these are some of our capital expenditures for 2025. It's a little bit higher than normal years. So we have to spend $20,000 as our portion of the Green Light Go interconnect. The streetscaping for Donnelly and Concord, this is in front of where the new township building will be. This is our portion, our match from state money we received. It's $440,000. We're looking to upgrade the conference room at the community center to a tune of $40,000. Mount Road repair. This is those who've driven on Mount Road in the 2nd Ward may have noticed Mount Road is starting to collapse, so we estimate that'll be $100,000 to repair. The West Branch Trail, this is the one we've discussed in recent months. This is the $200,000 is for design and engineering costs. We don't want the next slide I'll go into is grant funding, but for right now we wanted to make sure this project kept moving ahead, so we wanted to make sure it was included here in the budget. And finally, the Sisters of St. Francis real estate purchase for the open space we bought a few years ago. We made a deal with the nuns. The sisters, we would pay them $25,000 a year for 4 years. So this is, I believe, the 2nd or 3rd payment to them. So we're looking at total capital outlay in 2025 of $825,000. So the township has been very aggressive in recent years in terms of grant funding, be it the state or county. In recent years, we've got grant RCAP funding for the firehouse, for the new public works building. We got LSA funding and RCAP funding for the new township building. We got grant funding for the open space project. we get grant funding for various flooding measures. So these are some of the planned grant submissions that we have in 2025. Now, this is not limited to just what you see here. If something else comes up, we'll definitely jump in there. But if I get an amphitheater, Phase 3, $250,000. We're not planning on spending any money on that unless we get a grant for it. The West Branch Trail and Engineering and Design, $212. This ties in with the previous slide. So if we got this grant funding, we would cover that, the cost for that line item. Basin rehabilitation, $300,000. These are the basins you see driving around the township you don't pay attention to. We have to clean them out to help prevent flooding. Mountain road improvements. This is technically the West Branch Trail, and we would piggyback some of the cleanup of Mountain Road on that. So that's $2.7 million. And finally, the improvements in the Dudden Mill and Pancoast intersection. We're looking at we were going to apply for to the tune of almost $400,000. So these are some of the planned grant submissions we're looking to submit in 2025. There may be others, but this just gives you an idea of what we're looking to do. I just want to give some acknowledgments. I want to thank the following people for their help in putting the 2025 budget together and for pulling this presentation. First, of course, Bill DeFeo, our Township Manager, Kelly Pippin, our Assistant Township Manager, Landon Balistrieri, our Township Treasurer, our Chief of Police, Dan Ruggieri, our Public Works Director, Russ Palmore, and, of course, our Finance Committee, Les Berry and Commissioner Joe McGinn. Thank everyone for your help. Now, usually we vote on this final budget a week or two after this presentation. We're going to do it differently tonight. We're actually going to vote on this tonight. So that being said, if there are any questions from the public about the presentation about our budget, please come up now while I have my computer on.
Make one mention that the MMO for the police, that comes from the state. Yeah. You got no say.
West Spencer, 30 Morgan Road. My first question is there any difference between this finalized budget and the preliminary budget of last month?
No, they're the same.
So the millage and the sanitation fees are the same?
Yeah, no change.
Okay. My second question is, the millage rate is going, 3.8% or 3.5% it's going up by. But what was the 25.9494?
That was the total, okay. That is the total millage for households within Aston Township. That includes the school district, the county, and municipality, and Aston Township itself.
Oh, that's also together with the millage from the school district in the Delaware County?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Kathy Powell, 2931 Concord, Aston. Thank you guys again, you have done a fabulous job with the grants. Just a little bit curious, what's happening with Concord or Dutton Mill and Pancoast? What's happening there?
Want me to answer that?
Yeah.
We have a grant application in to put a traffic signal out here that would, it's similar to the one that we did in Concord Township, where it would, the firehouse would gain access to the signal when a vehicle was leaving, but it would operate because we do have issues at Pancoast. So we have a grant application to put a traffic signal.
And is that going to be the same that would be at the community center with the police station, or is that a full traffic there?
They're both signals, but they're.
Yeah, it's contingent on, okay, thank you.
Any other questions about the budget? All right, I want to, John didn't praise himself or thank himself, and we don't want him to get his head so big that he can't get out the door. But he did a good job.
Thank you.
On this for a number of years now, and thank you everybody else that participated in preparing the budget. It's a gruesome job, and it takes a lot of time, effort, and nerves, stress, so forth. So, thank you, everybody. So we move on to item C. Consider a motion to approve the 2025 final Aston Township operating budget. Commissioner Doherty.
I make a motion to approve the 2025 final Aston Township operating budget in the form of motion.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any further comment or question? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. Item D, consider an ordinance setting the 2025 Aston Township real estate taxes. Commissioner Berry.
Thank you, Commissioner Higgins. An ordinance of the Township of Aston, Delaware County, Pennsylvania, fixing the real estate tax rate for 2025, ordinance number 1041. The Board of Commissioners of the Township of Aston hereby enact and ordain as follows, that the tax rate be and same is hereby levied on all real property within the said township, subject to taxation for the fiscal year 2025 as follows. Tax rate for general purposes is 3.2126 mils on each dollar of assessed valuation, the sum of 3.212 cents on each hundred. For fire protection purposes, the sum of 0.2185 mils on each dollar of assessed valuation, or the sum of 0.2185 cents on each $100 of assessed valuation. For library purposes, the sum of 0.0280 mils on each dollar of assessed valuation. And for debt services, the sum of 0.3884 or 3484 on each dollar of assessed valuation. Total 3.8075 mils. Total revenues $16,671,876. Total expenditures $18,405,390. Adopted this 18th day of December 2024. Attested to by Kelly A. Pittman, Township Secretary, and by Michael J. Higgins, President of the Board of Commissioners, and that's in the form of a motion.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions further on this? All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. Item E, consider a resolution approving the 2025 Aston Township sanitation fee. Commissioner Prendergast.
Thank you, Commissioner Higgins. Consider a resolution approving the 2025 Aston Township sanitation fee. Whereas the Township of Aston, Delaware County, Pennsylvania desires to establish a fee for the trash and garbage service for the year 2025 at $350 per single-family unit, and therefore it be resolved that the trash and garbage fee is due and payable on before March 31st, 2025, with face amount due through May 31st, 2025. And be it further resolved that if this fee is not paid by June 1st, 2025, and until such fee is paid, a notice shall be sent to the owners of such properties informing them that the collection will cease until the fee plus 10% penalty is paid. Resolved by the Aston Township Board of Commissioners the 18th day of December 2024. Signed by Michael J. Higgins, President, Board of Commissioners, and Kelly A. Pittman, Township Secretary. I do this in the form of a motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any further questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. Thank you. Item F, consider a resolution to approve the 2025 Aston Township holiday schedule. Commissioner Bowden.
Consider a resolution to approve the 2025 Aston Township holiday schedule as follows. New Year's Day, Monday, January 1, 2025. Martin Luther King Day, Monday, January 20th, 2025. President's Day, Monday, February 17th, 2025. Good Friday, Friday, April 18th, 2025. Memorial Day, Monday, May 26th, 2025. Independence Day, Friday, July 4th, 2025. Labor Day, Monday, September 1st, 2025. Columbus Day, Monday, October 13th, 2025. Thanksgiving Day, Thursday, November 27th, 2025. Day after Thanksgiving, Friday, November 28th, 2025. Christmas Day, Thursday, December 25th, 2025. Christmas holiday, Friday, December 26th, 2025. Birthday, day of your birthday. 3 personal days with department head approval. The above schedule has been duly adopted by the Aston Township Board of Commissioners for the year 2025, this 18th day of December 2024. President Michael Higgins, Board of Commissioners, attested to Kelly S. Higgins, Township Secretary, in the form of a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Any further questions, comments?
The only comment I have is Commissioner Bowden, I do see that July 4th is going to be on a Friday, so it actually would work out for another great celebration to have for our township. Since July 4th is on a Friday, you have 7 months to you and the rec board to set something up since July 4th is on a Friday. Just wanted to say that for the.
Bill,
Yes.
can you address Kevin's question?
Kevin's question?
Well, Commissioner, we're planning on having something that for July 4th, yes. So
Right, and that's all I was saying.
The
is that
fireworks
it's-
and also we'll do the contribution.
Yes.
Yeah, I was looking at, was just saying it's 7 months away and it's on a Friday. It's not like in the middle of the week that it works out to have another great celebration.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, who in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it, thank you. Item G. Consider a motion certifying the vacancy in the rank of patrol officer to the Civil Service Commission, Commissioner Doherty.
I make a motion to certify the vacancy in the rank of patrol officer to the Civil Service Commission in the form of a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. Item H, consider a motion to approve the tax assessment appeal for 2230 Bridgewater Road, Commissioner Tinsley.
Thank you. I would like to make a motion to approve the tax assessment appeal for 2030 Bridgewater Road.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further comments, questions? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. Item I, consider a motion to approve the appointment of Stephen Abate to a 5-year term on the Southwest Delaware County Municipal Authority. Commissioner Prendergast.
I make a motion to approve the appointment of Stephen Abate to a 5-year term on the Southwest Delaware County Municipal Authority in the form of a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. Item J, consider a motion to approve the appointment of Ken Novotny to a 4-year term on the Aston Township Planning Commission. Commissioner Doherty.
I make a motion to approve the appointment of Ken Novotny to a 4-year term of the Aston Township Planning Commission in the form of a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comment or question? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. Item K, consider a motion to approve the appointment of Bernadette Zelnick to a 3-year term on the Aston Township Public Library Board of Trustees. Commissioner Bowden.
I make a motion to approve the appointment of Bernadette Zelznick to a 3-year term on the Aston Township Public Library Board of Trustees in the form of a motion.
Second.
The comments, we have a motion, we have a second. Comments, questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. Item L, consider a motion to approve the appointment of Jennifer Mancini to a 5-year term on the Aston Township Board of Health Committee. Commissioner McGinn.
Thanks, Commissioner Higgins. I make a motion to approve the appointment of Jennifer Mancini to a 5-year term on the Aston Township Board of Health Committee.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments or questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. And now we move on to escrow releases, Commissioner. Wait a minute, hold on.
M.
Skip
Go
down.
to M.
Where's it at?
I got it.
Hold on. Oh, I got M.
Yeah, M. I gotta make a motion.
Sorry about that. Consider a motion to approve the appointment of Kristen Evans to a 5-year term on the Aston Township Board of Health Committee. Commissioner Prendergast.
I make a motion to approve the appointment of Kristen Evans to a 5-year term on the Aston Township Board of Health Committee. Support the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any comments, questions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. Now we'll move on to escrow releases. Mr. McGinn?
Thank you, Commissioner Higgins. I make a motion to approve $8,145.50 to be paid for engineering services to Pannoni Associates for the month of December 2024.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. That it?
That's it.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner McGinn. We move on to item 13, open to the public, 1/2 hour. Anybody care to come up and make any comments or questions? I can't have everybody holler, no, that's embarrassing. The only one I want to have doing it is you. I can't have everybody yelling. They got the wrong number. I can't, it's embarrassing. That's him doing, that's it.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm
just so you
just
know.
trying to help you out.
So it's not helping, it's embarrassing.
David Kendrick Khan,
Hello?
243 West Milton Road. Came up for two things. One, actually, last month when I left, I realized on the way out that I shouldn't be bothering you guys about the dog park situation. I should probably be talking to Parks and Rec, but I didn't make it to their meeting, so just dog park. There we go. The second thing was last month when I came, I was asking about any ordinance against people partying up at 5 Points in Aston, and essentially just ordinance for public gathering and noise making in general, and was told that something was in the works and we were looking to have it in place by January 1st.
Sir, working backwards,
I think,
they back from the mayor, they back from the head.
The way I think you're getting the feedback, if you angle it more towards the corner, you'll get less.
Thanks. I think I talked to you a little bit about how, these regulations are sort of like walking the Constitution type program. And as I did my research, I really wanted to get some data out of the police department that they're in the process of gathering. So, when I talked to the chief, I think we were both of the conclusion that to recommend to the ordinance committee that we take the time to do it right rather than sort of rush it for January. So they're gathering some data for me now, and it's not something we've dropped, it's just something we don't have yet.
Okay. Just proving that I'll come up and ask. So.
Yeah, I understand.
I appreciate it. Thank
Sir, you mentioned the dog park?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so at this time of year, everything's been directed for the most part to the budget. We've had a lot of land development projects going on right now. So at some point in time, we'll take that on, but we've got to have some internal discussions too. We'd have to find a place, but it's not forgotten. There are people on the board that like the idea of a dog park.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And,
Just so you-
just come up and say the two words just to, make sure that it stays in people's minds. I'm not pushing on anyone. I know that there's a lot of work that goes, a lot of insurance and considerations that go into it.
I mean,
So
bite insurance.
Yeah, biting McBiters. So I'm aware of that. I know that sometimes things can go to the wayside unless they're brought up. So I hobble up here and say two words.
Thank you for reminding us, and thank you for
You got it.
your questions. We appreciate it, yeah. Anybody else would like to come up? Seeing none?
Nick's coming up. No?
Who's coming up?
Nick said no.
Who's coming up, Nick?
Nick was, then he said no.
Okay, with that, we'll move on to other business, and we'll start down the end here with Commissioner Tinsley.
Thank you, Commissioner Higgins. First, just want to wish everybody happy holidays. As well as, I didn't say it last month, but as far as being thankful, I know Commissioner Barry likes when I say numbers. I'm over 300 days now in here. It's my first year within as a commissioner now. I'm finished. My next one will be the new year. What's that? You want to see 300 more? So I just want to say thank you to everyone working.
Tough crowd.
Want to make sure I say this as well as congrats to Anthony Amicone, become a full-time police officer. 6th Ward, I'll be excited to see 17 Stewart Lane and 121 Beatrice as far as we're winning it. Doc, Commissioner Doc, as usual, from giving the presentations. I appreciate the tables and everything. I know it takes a lot of time. And last but not least, I want to thank Mr. Hart for coming as well. So that's it.
Commissioner Berry?
Thank you, Commissioner Higgins. I'd like to congratulate Officer Amicone also for his promotion to full-time. Wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy Holiday, and Happy New Year. And thank John for being Chairman of Finance. Thank you.
Mr. Prendergast?
Again, I want to congratulate Anthony Amicone for his being a full-time officer now. I also want to congratulate all the winners of the decorating committee, or decorating contest. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, everybody. And thank John for the budget and the budget committee. Thank you very much,
Commissioner?
Okay, just a few things. First off, again, congratulations to Officer Amicone. Welcome aboard, full-time. I'm going to wish the public and the fellow commissioners a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I'm looking forward to 2025. It's going to be a great year. We're going to have the new building. This time next year, we should be in the new building. So we have a lot going on between now and then. So,
Okay. Commissioner Bowden?
Thank you, John. I'm not going to not say thank you. I mean, everybody else is, so I'm going to say it too. And Kevin, thank you. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays. Just a little bit of information. We're going to have the Park and Rec Committee. We're going to be having a movie Saturday, January the 18th, 6 o'clock at the Community Center. The movie's not named yet, but I'm working diligently to try to get the movie Wicked. So we're going to hopefully get it. I can't make a promise yet. Congratulations to AJ. And Merry Christmas to everybody. Mr. Mandarin, you earned your keep tonight. You did a good job in reading the English language. Thank you.
I've had years of practice with English. So.
Commissioner McGinn?
Thanks, Commissioner Higgins. First off, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year to everyone. Obviously, congratulations to Officer Amicone. Great to have him join full-time the Aston Police Force. John, nice job with the budget. He brought up the new building construction. I talked and gave an update last month. You should be able to see from the road, but definitely if you go back, you can start to see the steel is not just there on the ground, but is going vertical. So it's great to see that progress continue to be made there. Look forward to being there. And John hit it. I think I've heard a few people talk about Thrive at 25. So hopefully that's what Aston Township does, Thrive at 25. Mike Madrid, you did an okay job reading this. But you're still no Joe Discusso. And, I feel bad because, Joe Hart always gets thanked for being here. I want to thank everybody else for coming, and especially thank Commissioner Tinsley for not just being here, but thanking the residents for coming. So thank you.
Commissioner, Township Manager, Bill, before you say your greetings, your endings, all, could you just mention the 2 grants that we got that we're going to use towards the new building, the new Township Police, so the public knows what we're getting?
Yes. So first of all, we've been able to procure 2 grants for the new township building and police building. One is a local shared account grant that is an amount of $500,000, and also a RACP grant in the amount of $500,000. Actually, I think one is $600,000.
600.
And the second one is $500,000. So things are progressing very well, as Joe mentioned. The building committee is doing a great job monitoring everything. We're on time and on budget right now, and as commissioners have said, we'd look to be in the new building sometime in October of 2025. So it's an exciting time for the township. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year in Aston Township. And also want to thank our Public Works Department that they're out delivering the calendars, the 2025 calendars, and thank Kathy Pippin for putting those together for us. If you have not received a calendar and you are on the trash routes, they will be delivered to you. If you do not have township trash pickup and you would like to have a calendar, please feel free to stop by our office at 2 New Road in Aston or at the community center, and we have some extra calendars. They may not be in right now, but they should be in the next week or so. So thank you, everybody, for a great job. Can't say enough great things about how our Public Works Department does such a fabulous job maintaining trash pickup and also taking care of all the streets in Aston Township. Thank you.
Thank you. Our professionals, Mr. Viscuso?
Happy holidays to everybody. It's hard to believe that another year is going by. And like I said, it should be very exciting next year with a lot of really good projects.
Michael?
Yeah, I wanted to thank Nancy for coaching me up a little bit. I know I'll never be a Joe Viscuso. But I appreciate your faith in me and your attempts to lift me to a more confident level. And happy holidays.
Thank you. I just want to mention one thing here about the calendar. The calendar, I hope everybody uses it and just doesn't throw it in a drawer and that's it. It's a very useful tool, especially when you have a holiday in the middle of the week or a couple of holidays, like at Christmas where you can have 2 days together. And the most likely calls are, well, when is our trash going to be, or why doesn't anybody tell us about that? So it's on the calendars, and so if I'm making this up, if Christmas and day after was Thursday and Friday, so then obviously you only have Monday through Wednesday to get the trash, and it will be shown on the calendar. So that's a great tool, and I just wish that people would keep it in the front of their pile, or put it on the refrigerator or whatever. It is a good tool. Also, I want to thank Officer Amicone for coming with us as a full-timer, and thank you, John, for your hard work with the committee and the committee, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's to everyone. So safe driving out there. I need a motion for adjournment. Okay, thank you.